Superman needs to get a good modern trilogy. There have been many attempts to make one, but they've all failed like really badly. So in today's video, I'm going to be making a good modern Superman trilogy. I'm going to be taking a lot of inspiration from this video. This video is also part 1 for my DCU. Of course, there's Superman, there's also Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Supergirl and her parents, Perry White, Martha and Jonathan Kent, Sam Lane, Lex Luthor, Parasite, Metallo, Brainiac, Bizarro, and finally Metropolis. We're going to give life to Metropolis by having Superman interact with the people he saves. First off, I'm casting David Corenswet as Superman. If you want a more in-depth explanation of why I'm casting him as Superman, just watch this short. For the rest of the casting, just look at the screen. For the first movie, we're going to be adapting Superman, Secret Origin. Clark will arrive at a not-so-hopeful Metropolis to apply for a job at the Daily Planet. He gets the job and gets introduced to Lois Lane. Lois and him go to investigate Lex Luthor. As they do so, Lois Lane ends up falling off the building as she gets cornered by Luthor's men. This forces Clark to suit up as Superman to save Lois. Everybody is shocked and scared of this flying man. But Lex is angry because he thinks that Superman is trying to steal his spotlight. The civilians ask him who he is and what he wants, and he just says that he's just a friend trying to help as he flies away. All the newspapers write about him being an alien trying to invade this planet. We get a montage of Superman saving people. As he returns to the Daily Planet, he sees Jimmy Olsen on the roof. He notices that he's sad, so he goes to talk to him. At the end of the talk, Superman allows Jimmy to take a photo of him and even an interview with him. The next day, we see Lex crumpling a newspaper about Superman being an alien that's trying to save everyone. Lex doesn't trust him. Later that day, we see him accidentally creating Parasite. Parasite breaks out of LexCorp and attacks the city. But Superman arrives and tries to stop him, but Parasite is draining his powers. Superman finds a way to stop him and Lex gets angry. So he goes to meet the military and discusses with them about Superman. At the end of the scene, both Lex and the military agree to create Metallo. Once Metallo is created, Lex and the military pretend as though somebody needs saving. Superman arrives, but he gets hit by a kryptonite blast from Metallo as Metallo goes to end Superman. The civilians that Superman had saved earlier in the movie steps in between Superman and Metallo. This gives Superman enough time to recover. Superman throws Metallo to space and waits for him to pass out, to bring him back down. Now everybody except for Lex trusts Superman. This movie will show us the effect Superman has made on Metropolis since he arrived. This movie will be adapting Superman, Brainiac. This movie will also take place 1 year after the first movie, therefore. Clark and Lois are already married. Also, Lex will be building his armor in this film. The movie opens with what we think is Brainiac destroying Krypton from Supergirl's paw, but it's actually Brainiac capturing Krypton. We see from Lewis's office the villain Superman has stopped for the past year. On the newspapers on the wall, Superman hears Brainiac attacking civilians, so he goes to stop him. But Brainiac manages to make him bleed and steals Clark's blood. Clark meets up with Supergirl at his fortress. Supergirl recognizes the android and tells Clark that that's one of Brainiac's decoys. She says that they were attacking Krypton before Brainiac destroyed it. Clark notices that Supergirl is sad, so he tells her that he'll never let Brainiac destroy Earth. Later that day, he tells his parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent, that he's going to hunt Brainiac down. Martha gets worried. Jonathan tells her not to worry. Clark asks Jonathan why Martha's so worried. Jonathan just says it's because she's scared of losing you, but Clark says that's not going to happen. Jonathan agrees with Clark. The next day, Superman takes off to space to find Brainiac. He finds Brainiac's ship and breaks in just to realize it was all a setup. He captures Clark back on Earth. Supergirl goes to Lois to ask her where Clark is. Lois explains that Clark is hunting down Brainiac in space. Clark sees Brainiac capturing Krypton instead of destroying it as Brainiac goes through his memories. Brainiac realizes that there's another Kryptonian on Earth, so he goes there. Brainiac arrives at Earth and sends his decoy to destroy Earth. Brainiac scans the people of Earth as he captures Metropolis. He makes fun of Clark for protecting the humans that he considers weak back at Metropolis. We see Martian Manhunter secretly saving some civilians. Lex arrives with his battle armor and saves Clark. Clark knocks out Brainiac, but Brainiac just transfers his mind to his ship. Clark realizes that Brainiac is his ship, so he knocks his body out of the ship. Brainiac lands in the ocean and is scared of it because he knows nothing about it. Before Clark grabs the bottled city of Candor and Metropolis, he asks Lex why he's helping him. Lex says that he's helping him because this is his city. Clark leaves and puts back Metropolis on Earth, and as he places Candor near his fortress, Brainiac sends one of his decoys to attack the Kent farm. The decoy launches a missile at Jonathan and Martha but misses. Clark hears this and rushes there to destroy the decoy. He asks his parents if they're alright. They say yes, but suddenly Jonathan gets a heart attack and slowly dies in front of Clark. Clark shouts out in sadness loud enough for the whole world to hear. We end the film at Jonathan's funeral. We also get a post-credit scene where Clark frees the other bottled planets. Jonathan's death will break Clark, and it will also show him that he can't save everyone. This movie will be the finale of Superman and Lex's rivalry. There would also be a cameo of Batman. We open the movie as Lex finishes creating Bizarro by using the blood of Superman from the last movie. Lex unleashes Bizarro at the Daily Planet to capture Lois and lure out Superman. Bizarro attacks the Daily Planet and destroys everything in his way until he sees Lois. He leaps towards Lois, but Superman arrives and stops him. He tells Lois and others to go as he grabs Bizarro and brings him to his fortress, but Bizarro wakes up and punches him. Bizarro tries to attack him multiple times, but Clark just dodges. As he doesn't want to fight Bizarro, he asks Bizarro who created him, but Bizarro doesn't know. Clark manages to talk down Bizarro. Suddenly, Clark hears Lois shout and he rushes back to Metropolis and scans Metropolis with his X-ray vision. But he's not able to find Lois. Clark gets scared because he's afraid of losing Lois like how he lost his father. Clark knows Lex is behind all of this, so he breaks in LexCorp. He chokes Lex and shouts out "Where's Lois?" and Lex just smiles and says that if you kill me, Lois dies. He lets go of Lex and asks him what he wants. Lex tells him that if he wants Lois to live, he has to stop being Superman. Superman asks him why, and Lex says that it's so Bizarro can ruin your reputation and everyone will come back begging to me for money. Superman replies by saying, "You're doing all of this for power." Lex tells him that before he became Superman, he was the most powerful man in the city. Superman tells Lex that Bizarro won't be helping him anymore. As he flies away, Clark calls Batman to help him find Lois. After a lot of detective work, Batman was able to track down Lois. Batman tells Clark that she's outside the Daily Planet. Superman hears Ultra-Humanite dropping the Daily Planet's globe on Lois. Clark suits up and rushes there as fast as he can. He sees Lois and he's able to save her when the globe was an inch above her head. He brings her to the Batcave and tells Bruce to protect her. Lex sees this and suits up. Superman arrives at the Daily Planet, now having to face both Ultra-Humanite and Lex at the same time. Lex weakens Superman by shooting him with kryptonite. Ultra-Humanite is continuously hitting Superman until the point where he's losing conscious. As Lex is about to kill Superman with a kryptonite sphere, he gets knocked out by Bizarro. Bizarro helps Superman up. Superman attacks Lex while Bizarro is facing Ultra-Humanite. Lex shoots a kryptonite bullet at Superman, but he dodges it. Superman continuously hits Lex in the face as he shouts out, "You dare try to kill the people closest to me." Meanwhile, Ultra-Humanite is destroying Bizarro. Clark throws Lex across the city and goes to help Bizarro. They work together to stop Ultra-Humanite. We can get a cool scene where Superman is using his freeze breath against Ultra-Humanite, while Bizarro is using his heat breath. Lex returns and catches them off guard as he launches a kryptonite missile at them. He chokes Superman as he tells him that he should have just listened to him and stopped being Superman. As he's about to stab Superman, he gets hit by a truck driven by Jimmy Olsen. Superman gets up and thanks Jimmy, but Jimmy reminds him that if it wasn't for him, he would have left Metropolis. Superman and Bizarro manage to beat Lex, but they were caught off guard by Ultra-Humanite. This gives Lex time to escape. Superman knocks out Ultra-Humanite as the military arrive. Superman hands over Ultra-Humanite to them, but they just ignore him and arrest Bizarro. Superman tries to stop them, but Bizarro stops him. General Lane tells him that he has no choice but to arrest Bizarro for attacking the Daily Planet. We end the movie as Superman reunites with Lois. We'll get a mid-credit scene where Lex recruits Mirror Master and Gorilla Grodd. In the post-credit scene, Lois will tell Clark that she's pregnant. I really hope that Superman gets a good modern trilogy. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video.